Ahoy, you are listening to
Glass Half Full.
I'm Mulla, the sensible twin.
And I'm Laura, the funnier, prettier, braver, smarter, more...
Okay, we get it. Anyway, welcome to our podcast, where we chat over a hot beverage
or cold, it's completely your choice.
About bits and bobs that help us feel more positive.
And don't forget humor. We are very, very funny as well.
Yes, anywho, hope you enjoy.
Yes, hope you enjoy. We're so funny, like really funny.
Hello!
Oh, see, I went for hey and you went for hello. We need to...
And what's wrong with that?
Well, absolutely nothing, because we're all different, but all awesome. Yes.
So how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am super duper.
That's great to hear. What's coming up in May?
Eurovision!
Bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, bum.
And 12 points go to...
Estonia. Eesti.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not my favorite song this year.
Okay.
Tell you which ones are though. This time it's coming around very quickly. In fact, when you hear this, it might have already been and gone.
No.
Maybe not. No, it's just
the
restarting.
final is on the 11th of May.
So when this comes out, you might have the first semi-final tonight.
Yes.
Because it's on a Tuesday usually, and then Thursday is the other one, and then the final on Saturday. So go and check it out. I haven't checked a lot of the songs out yet, but from what I have checked out, I like the two rockier ones. There's other rocky ones as well, but one is Croatia. So it's an artist called Baby Lasagna with rim tim rim, and it's like rocky middle bit. I really like it. And the other one is San Marino. It's like a group, very cool.
You did play them to me just before the episode started as well, so yeah, they are pretty cool.
Yeah.
We were listening to them, like the Eurovision playlist, when we were driving here, me and Tiernan, to Ellen, to our studio, and not a lot stood out.
No.
There was one song from Austria's representation. We Will Rave, from Colleen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
I think I know which one it is.
It is quite like, well, it's not my type of music, but it stood out.
Okay.
You know, it is ravey, and in some bits, it's kind of reminds me of Estonian 90s pop music, like disco.
Right.
So yeah, that was funny.
Cool. Yeah. So
I'll
Eurovision.
keep listening.
Yeah. And that concludes our shoutouts, because we have our guest this month will hopefully also share some. And we might end up having an idea halfway through this podcast.
Yeah.
But as it stands, we're just doing a little shoutout for Eurovision, who doesn't need our shoutout.
Yeah.
But it's going to get one anyway.
Quite a big entity, but yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, what are you opening up with?
You mean drink-wise?
Yes, yeah.
I have a Aldi's own Freeway Tropical Crush, pineapple and grapefruit. Very nice. I already opened it. I can't do the ASMR thing. What about you? Oh, thank you, Paul.
Oh, nice.
That was lovely.
Sound
good.
effect.
Good.
I'm having one of my staples, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Cherry one.
Very nice. We are mentioning
We're open
those
for sponsoring.
Exactly. We will not like stop.
Yeah.
You know.
You're gonna learn about Estonia now. Boop boop. So on to our Estonian facts. There's 2 dates to mark in May. The first one is 1st of May. It's a holiday in Estonian folk calendar called Volbriö. Actually, Volbripäev, translated into English as Wolverine's Day or Valborg Day.
How is that not in November?
That's the thing. It's not the same time as Halloween. Our one is a different time. It's preceded by Volbri Ö, aka Wolverine Night. So word has it that the witches fly around that night. This holiday is named after Walburga, a female saint of the Catholic Church. So yeah, it is due to that known as also like a Walburgis Day. I think it's kind of Scandinavian as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Did we ever do anything on that day?
Well, I'm coming to it. The Wolf Day marks the final victory of spring over winter. And traditionally in olden days, bonfires were made to scare off all the bad. And they were ringing bells and making a lot of noise. Yeah. There were also other rituals which I didn't go into much. But yeah, nowadays it does resemble Halloween. And on the Saturday, all sorts of witches and creatures walk around, sing and dance, have parties, and gather around bonfires. You know, like costumes. But yeah, it's more like witchy and like wise men-y. You know, not like Halloween. Like yeah. Okay,
I like the word wise men-y.
And the next thing is on a second Sunday of May, which this time falls on the 12th of May, is the local Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. It's not actually a public holiday in Estonia, but it is recognized nationally. Yes. And it's traditionally just we give flowers and cakes to our moms and just generally pamper them.
Yes, and in our school, we had concerts, didn't we?
Oh yes, that was a big thing.
Big thing, Mother's Day concert, and
in one of our biggest like concert halls.
Yes, and once we even performed there with the little orchestra that our uncle Peter
was a conductor of.
Yes, yeah. Talk about a family
thing.
Yeah.
Laura played what?
Zither, because I'm cool as
such
hell.
Cool. Yeah, so cool.
And Ulla played
violin.
Yes.
Years and years ago, I was able to play violin.
We are the one twats. Anyway,
so, such fun. And yeah, that concludes my fun facts about Estonia this month.
Offload.
Minute.
Ulla. R. We. Ready.
For our off.
Load. Minute.
Sure, once this word finishes, but yeah.
Can I go first?
You can indeed. Let me just set a timer, okay? 1 minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be ready.
I am ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
So again, my gripe is with the weather, because this time of year, it oftentimes you look outside and it's super sunny and you feel, it's a light kind of jacket kind of day, but not so. You go outside and you freeze your little titulars off.
Wow.
So I don't really like that feeling. Therefore, I just I'm like
30.
I literally just try to wrap up warm, and then I end up being too warm with my duffel coat or something. So
that's such a shame.
Such a shame, and then I have to even wear mittens.
10.
And that's my gripe. It looks warm, isn't. There we go.
3, 2,
I'm done.
1.
Yeah.
You made it to the end. Wow.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yep.
You don't know what to wear.
Yeah, it's quite crappy doodah.
We had hailstorm.
Yeah, that was one.
On Thursday, I think.
And then the same day, you also had like really warm weather. So some people are wearing t-shirts and some, like me, duffel coats.
Today, it was constantly raining when we were making our way here, and we stopped at the shop and I saw a guy with itsy bitsy teeny weeny shorts.
Ooh! Woo! Shake, shake.
It wasn't warm, so I'm like, what are you playing at?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I am indeed.
3, 2, 1, go.
7 a.m. alarm on a weekend morning. And this for no good reason at all. It's just my absent-mindedness playing a trick on me. I am partial to sleeping in a bit over the weekend, but if I have forgotten to switch off my earlier alarm, I am in for a rude awakening. Literally. Like yesterday morning, this was not pleasant.
30.
And I could not fall back to sleep after this again. Such fun. I was just tossing and turning from one side to the other, overthinking things, when I should have been really restfully asleep, you know. Sadly, no amount of coffee
10.
could make me feel better about it, and that was a waste. And yeah.
3, 2, 1. Blink, 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 blink. It is so funny how different our ones are, because I've like written down one sentence and you have like a nice thing to read out. Maybe we will do the opposite next time. That'll be fun.
You're broken the illusion. I thought I was reading it very naturally. Shush.
Yeah, no, I mean, what I mean is you're very like deep in like, you know, 7 o'clock alarm. What is that? Like a short story. And I'm like, I don't like the weather. Yeah, no, that shows our levels of preparation. And what do we say?
Rant over.
Guest of the month.
Who is it?
I do not know.
Tell me who is it?
I don't know who it is, but shall we find out?
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So those of you who will hear us through the media of sound.
Spotify or such like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are here with our this month's guest. I was going to say weeks, but we don't have that many podcast episodes. Jordan.
Hello.
And we know Jordan through Chantal, who is our friend. Jordan, not so much. Joking. Such a big
I
friend.
don't have any friends, so it's fine.
Well, now you have
Just
two.
Oakley.
You have...
Yeah.
And Oakley, for the listener, is your dog.
Who is
Correct,
the-
yes.
Correct.
Not my slave.
No, not at all. Not at. It's the other way around, if anything,
Correct.
isn't it?
100% it is.
And
But,
she's a retriever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
cute.
The
one.
goodest of the girls.
Yes, she's very cute. And so Jordan is a hard man to pin down, so we're very lucky to have him.
Yes.
Yes.
Finally. Whoop, 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 whoop.
What can I say?
Busy night?
After a year doing this
Yes.
podcast, yeah.
So this is a special episode.
The most specialist, yes.
Just right after Chantal, sorry, Chantal and Tiernan and Paul.
Yeah.
But very special, very special.
Yeah,
Totes.
that's me.
So we'll go right into the questions, because then you can speak about yourself a bit more.
Yes.
So that would be...
My turn, yes. So the first question would be, Jordan, who are you?
Well, last time I checked, I am Jordan. I
And forgot about the rest.
I forgot who I actually am already. I am Jordan, that's it. The end. Thank you for having me.
You started so confidently as well.
Yeah.
Well, last time I checked.
It's like you had a little speech.
little
written up or
joke
something.
there.
Yeah.
Malfunction.
Yeah. Error.
Yeah, so I am Jordan. I guess I probably won't go into my age and where I'm from, but next thing for me would probably be my job. So I am a buyer at a procurement service company that is more focused towards like oil and gas. So I've been there for just over 3 months now. Love it. Hard work, stressful, but it's great. So
Nice.
What does a procurement company like do for those of us
Who are
like
a bit
us
more
who don't know?
less informed.
Sure. So more or less my job is day in, day out is I have a set contract. So a company, they'll reach out to me and they'll essentially be looking to have their inquiry fulfilled. So they'll have, say, an offshore ship an oil rig, an establishment offshore or whatnot, that needs obviously consumables, parts, tools, anything really. Okay. So it can range from 20 bags of coffee I had last week. Crazy, it was like £300 worth of coffee.
Oh, right.
Another time it could be tools for a new start or like replacement tools. It could even be things like big projects. So if it's like a big electrical project, so we're speaking quite a lot of money, but it varies. So it varies day in, day out.
So in these 3 months, what do you reckon has been the most outrageous request from them? Would it be the coffee or
like a weirdest?
You know, like a pink elephant.
I had something a couple of weeks ago, and it was artificial plants, and it was like £6,000 worth of artificial plants, and I was just like, why does an oil rig need that much?
Oh, but imagine how bunny it will now
bunny.
look. Eh?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's funny. That's interesting. So, but like your company doesn't have those things. You're the like middleman, right?
That's
get
right.
them.
Yeah, so we stock some stuff, so it'd be like consumables, like your day in, day out, like things that people would need. So say like tie wraps, janitorial supplies, stuff like that. But when it comes to like bigger things, more expensive in particular, we would kind of go out and reach out to suppliers and more or less look to get the best price, not just for our our customer, but ourselves as well. Because at the end of the day, we obviously are a business and we need to make sure that we're making profit. So it works in both ways, that we try to get good deals.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
Sounds interesting, and like that no day is the same.
I was just about to say that.
Right, yeah.
So weird, twinsy thing. Yeah, that no day is the same. Probably like you have a lot of different things, different requests coming through. But I can imagine that if it's like so. Like, what makes it stressful? Is it like the time constraint?
I'd probably say because the customer that I have, they are more like reactive rather than being proactive as to what they need day in, day out. So it could be something that breaks down because they're more like maintenance and stuff. So something that'll break, they may have a spare part for that, but not always, just because of different reasons. It might be for how much space they have for that item. They might not be able to kind of stock that, or the price of it could be too much. It varies, but yeah, it's a lot of things are kind of needed within a day, a couple of days, something like that. So it can be very quick turnarounds. I may have, like last week, I had one where I got an inquiry through in the afternoon, and they were kind of needing it the same afternoon as such. So it can be really, really difficult to do that. But I mean, sometimes you can do it. A lot of the times you can. It varies for different reasons. But it's always just trying to make sure you can either get it onto the boat if it's sailing the next day kind of thing, or if it's going the same day, they may have to put that on a helicopter.
I was going to ask that, if it's like really time constricted, then helicopters.
Yeah, like last Thursday, I think it was, there was something I managed to supply late in the afternoon. They needed it in Dice for 5:30, and by the time it was prepped at the supplier in Aberdeen, we actually didn't have any other choices other than to get a taxi to come collect this thing. So the customer had to pay £60 on top of their already purchase order to get that kind of sent to them. So, but we managed to do it, and it just goes to show, like, kind of thinking out the box a wee bit. A taxi was never something I'd considered before, but they mentioned it, so we went with it and it worked. So,
and now you know for next time, if you ever need to do that with a taxi, that's okay to do. Yeah. That's very like interesting, but I can imagine how sometimes it'd be like
last minute,
yeah, well, on top of your kind of regular day in, day out stuff, and then if you're covering for someone, so it's not just one customer that you work for, it might be other people if they're too busy, but it can be stressful a lot of the time. I think the big thing for my job is you have to be organised, and you have to be more or less making sure that you are thorough with what you're doing. You don't really have time for errors. So that's, I guess, it's additional pressure.
Fair enough.
But worth it?
Yeah, you love it?
Yeah, I do. It's rewarding in a lot of ways. It's a good company, a good team. So I think for me is what I want out of my career. So I can go far in it if I work hard, and obviously right opportunities for the right person kind of comes about. So yeah,
that's really cool. Other than work then.
Yeah.
What Who is Jordan other than
Who
work?
is Jordan?
What are your
Jordan
hobbies?
is, well, I'm very outdoorsy.
Uh-huh.
I love the adventuring, so going up hills. I mean, I just came back from Lake District last week, and like I'd probably say, hands down, that was best holiday I've had. I've had plenty of holidays abroad, but we went with a couple, and just having like our friends in a house and like all the outdoorsy kind of like landmarks, touristy things to do, going out, eating, drinking, like it was so much fun. So yeah, like stuff like that I love.
Yeah.
Water sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. Anything kind of sports related, I'm for. One thing I'm not, I suppose, is football, which is quite surprising because a lot of people, especially in Scotland, love football, but not me. So
True.
yeah,
Hey, each to their own. With
Yeah,
that, you know. You like what you like.
yeah. I'm big into DIY as well. I do try to, especially nowadays, try to work on different things. Like Paul, he's shown me how to just change my brakes, and some people that's like, oh, that's easy, but for someone that's never really worked on their cars, it's just a stepping stone. So
Yeah.
I've done my brakes, now it's time to change my engine, so engine conversion, stuff like that. Just
Yeah. No.
the basics.
No, but that's
it's
so
good
cool.
to know these kind of things yourself, so you don't have to take it to a garage.
Yeah, I guess like in a way you spend some money to get the tools and whatnot, but afterwards you know what you're doing going forward, and you save money by not putting it into the garage, and at least in a way, as long as you've done it right, you know you've done it in a good way rather than trusting some random mechanic. So
Yeah, and it gives you the sense of like, oh, I've done it.
Accomplishment.
Accomplishment.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. Anything else to add, or you happy to?
We know that you really like dogs as well.
Yes,
don't
that's
you?
true.
That's probably one of my biggest actually that I really missed out. But yeah, I'm very passionate about animals, in particular dogs. So something that's kind of always been in my life is dogs, cats as well now and again, but yeah, dogs have always been in my life, and yeah, it's really just the last couple of years it's kind of shown a light as to my desire as to what I want to do in my life, and I know maybe we'll touch base on it later, but I know like I really want to help more animals in my life, so yes.
Well, now is the time to kind of give
We'll speak about it
maybe
now.
a shout out.
There we go.
To your chosen
Absolutely. So
candidate.
my chosen candidate would be a charity, an international company called Humane Society International. Now, they are a charity that focuses on different kinds of things, so it's not just one particular field of looking after animals. It's so, unfortunately, I'm not sure if a lot of people are aware of this over in Asia in particularly. There's the dog and cat meat trade. So they are really focusing and really putting a lot of pressure, not just on local council, but governments, and trying to change people and what they see things in that countries, and almost transitioning from this tradition that these locals have more or less endured, or I wouldn't say endured, but enjoyed for all these centuries, and trying to move that on to maybe something that's not necessarily what we see as domestic pets now. So yeah, they focus not just on that, but it's even like our livestock, making sure that even in this country, we all probably see things like Red Tractor and all these RSPCA, SSPCA approved, and I mean they're stamps at the end of the day, but I do always kind of think we need to ensure that these animals that we are consuming, and say we're even for dairy use or whatnot, that we're looking after them the best, we're respecting them the most, and
Absolutely.
trying to be as not as cruel. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. It's just
humane.
Humane, exactly as it says in the name, humane. So.
And you're not just like a supporter passively sitting and supporting them. You have a plan to raise funds.
That's correct. So I mean, it's something that's kind of nothing's really been planned out as to what I'm going to do yet. I set something aside in January where I was just thinking to myself, and I thought June, something in my head saying I've got to do a charity event in June. Now it's something that I kind of want to raise as much money as I possibly can, and I feel something like that gets attention by stuff that's challenging, something that's not what a lot of people do for their charity events, so something that will get attention. So whether that's
no
something
skydiving then.
To be honest, not to be that person, I actually think that sounds really fun, but I'd probably say something that's almost going to be like physically and mentally challenging for myself. So
not like, oh, I'll eat like a massive cake if you give me money, because that's not like, more like
I do that day in day out, to be fair. So no, I'm kidding, but no, it's something that I really need to do, and it'll be something that will be grueling enough for me to be tested by, and hopefully raise money and awareness for this charity. So come June, I'm sure by then I've announced what I'm going to do, but
and we will be sure to share it.
We will be sure to share it.
Yeah,
and
no, I appreciate that.
Our listeners, if you are this way inclined, please do help.
And look out for more info.
Yeah, and it goes for animals. And who doesn't love animals?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Psychopaths.
I've heard they actually do like animals more.
Anyway, that's a whole other podcast.
Right.
Right.
Well, shall we go?
So, what made you laugh recently?
Good question. To be honest,
what made me laugh recently?
Is it something that's like really funny, or like the most recent thing that's made me laugh, kind of thing?
Whichever you prefer to say.
What do you feel comfortable declaring?
My flashback was when we literally did a promo photo with you just a second before starting that, and we were laughing.
To be honest,
that
had me in knots. I was trying so hard to keep a face, but I almost felt like I was crying of laughter inside while pouting. So
you guys will see what we mean when we post.
Yeah.
You've probably seen it now.
You'll see.
Yeah.
You've seen it now because we posted on the day.
To be honest, nothing really springs to mind.
Life is just so sad.
I know. No, it's more like I'm quite a basic man when it comes to laughter and humor. I do love memes. I'm not gonna lie. I spend a lot of my time scrolling through Instagram or something, just laughing to myself.
Why not?
I to be honest, I try to take life not too serious and spend more of my time laughing or smiling than I do being miserable in a way. So
yay!
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
Sorry, I don't have an exact answer, but that's probably what I'd say.
Memes.
Yeah.
It's quite okay.
Memes, yeah.
Memes. There we go.
Yeah.
That's a very good answer.
Shall we then continue to our next question, which
dance.
is, what is on your aspirations list?
Aspirations.
Bucket list.
Yeah. So, to be honest, one thing that's been really big for me for well over 10 years, probably approaching 15 years, I've got in my head, I really think that this room might be haunted.
Yes. No fault of Paul sitting on the curtain at all. Anyway, we're professionals, so we just shake it off.
So a curtain came down just now.
So the last 10-15 years has been about this haunted room. But last 10-15 years I've had in my head, due to actually going to a clairvoyant. I know a lot of people are kind of don't believe them, take things with a pinch of salt. I totally agree with that, like you do, but basically for such a long period of my life, I've always wanted to move abroad. So I want to do that prior to retiring, so I would love to work abroad. I'm a man of enjoying the heat, so I mean, given that we don't really live in a great climate in Scotland, it's rain and winds 99% of the time.
Literally today.
Yeah, it's horrible. So I mean, I love outdoors, and it kind of makes sense to live in a hot country that you can actually go out and enjoy the outdoors. So whether that be the reasons I actually say these countries is because of the company that I'm with. So that kind of links up to what I was speaking about earlier with the opportunities. So there's Houston over in America.
Oh, Texas.
There's
Nice.
There's Australia. And there's also Dubai. So obviously 3 very completely different companies, countries and cultures, and I mean, very different ways of life. But the main one for me, I'd probably say, is Houston. And it's just, I don't know. It's difficult when someone asks me why Houston, but I guess it's so many different reasons. I obviously want heat, so that's the main one, but it's got a good economy when it comes to my line of work, oil and gas. The company that I'm currently situated with, they are very, very busy, got a great reputation over there, and I mean, there's always opportunities to kind of grow. So if I was given the chance to kind of go over there, obviously nothing kind of soon, but some point maybe in the next 10, 15 years, to go over there and hopefully further progress my career, I'd more or less love to take it. But yeah, Houston sounds great for different reasons.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's got a lot for someone like myself that I've always dreamed of having a ranch or a homestead, something like I've got my. I know it's very cliche, but
And horses.
Yeah, absolutely. Like even a horse, but I again I love animals, so having my own kind of land and grow my own fruit and veg, living a quiet life. I've always loved this kind of dream of kind of going out in the morning or even at night and just chilling on the porch.
Yeah, I was
Whether
gonna say,
that's a coffee or
Yeah.
a beer or a whiskey or
Aw.
just chilling. Like it makes me happy, to be honest. Like even the videos, the people I speak to that have lived in Houston or even
Right.
Texas in general, and no one's got a bad thing to say. I
Well,
know we
there
see
go.
I know we see bad things on the media, but I guess every country's got their
Yeah,
imperfections.
of course.
Very true.
Maybe there's
That's
an
so cool.
opportunity to go over there for a little while and then like make up your mind. You know, like
Absolutely.
kind of like an
Yeah.
exchange, or like if they need more workers, like short
I,
notice.
I think that's exactly it. It would have to be a decision that's been really thought through, and more or less, if I'm to go over there, it's not going to be like, oh, I've made the wrong decision going over there. It's
Yeah.
I'd have to be 100%, 110% if anything, that if I was to move there and say Chantal as well to come with me, and if I have children as well at that point, it's to make sure that not just myself, but they've all got great lives, thinking about their careers and education and
Yeah.
lifestyle and how bringing up children and stuff, like it's all these things you got to kind of consider. But
Yep.
yeah.
No, that's really interesting. Do you have anything else on your aspirations, or that's kind of like the main?
That's 100% the main thing, but I know later in my life, probably closer to retirement, because I would need a lot of free time, is I would love to own, or not, I say own, but, and again, it's a bad thing that it even exists, but to have my own animal kind of shelter,
That's sweet.
part kennel as well, because again, if I haven't already spoke about, I love animals, so yeah, it's just I'd read up all the time. I follow these pages, and there's a massive crisis over in America, with dogs in particular. A lot of strays. It's
sad.
very sad.
Yeah.
There's high kill shelters over there.
I have heard of
Kinda
those. Yeah.
85, 95% kind of kill rate. It's horrible. So a lot of things need to change. So.
And maybe you can do in one your aspirations and do it at your ranch.
Well, you never know.
you
I
go.
think a lot of things in my life is to do good. It's not selfish things. It's to raise awareness, changes. And to be honest, I never thought I'd ever kind of be like this. Not because of bad reasons, but I'd say I've probably changed a lot in the last couple of years. Maybe more so with having my own dog. Because before it was more like family pets, but I guess once you have your own pet, it's almost like your own child kind of thing. So yeah, I guess like I've changed in a lot of ways, but yeah, it's I feel like a lot of things need to change in this world and make it a better place if possible. So
that's very motivational. I
yeah,
love that. Very
hey, I try to be.
Jordan for president.
Yes, absolutely. I would vote.
What can I say? Maybe.
Oh, okay.
You never know.
Twist my arm.
You will have
I think
really
I suit
to-
the White House, to be fair.
It has a yard.
You would have had to be born there, but oh well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey.
Hey, that's negative.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
No.
It's not an aspirational one.
My oh yes. So as an avid listener to our podcast, obviously, you know what's coming next, and it's the award goes to.
Yeah.
So those who are tuning in the first time, obviously you choose an award. Could be sassy, could be cute, could be cringy, and you give it to someone. So
Sure.
what's
and
the
you can
category?
also you have the bonus of like being able
Describe.
to come up with the
Design.
shape or form. Or,
Yes. So what and who
And back to
when?
you.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it quietly, but it's actually the person downstairs that's probably listening very
Tiernan.
closely. Tiernan, yes, Tiernan. No, I'm only kidding. It's actually who I was voted for on when she was on the podcast is Chantal, and the reason for that is just with everything that's going on in her life. More so with her health, she still perseveres with everything. And just
I feel
kind
like
of
we also have to now speak like this, and that's very good for our
Yes.
ASMR fans.
yes.
It's one of those.
Anyway, you were saying, so sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's just with everything that's going on in her kind of life, especially her health, her changes in her body and stuff, that she gets on with her life. She still lives a positive, tries to educate herself as well as much as possible. And the biggest thing as well, actually, is she's created her like an Instagram page for hormonal diaries, and this is basically to try, even through everything that she's going through, is to try put a positive light on things and to educate other women that are going through similar experiences, to maybe reach out to people on a taboo subject. And yeah, I just really think it's an admirable thing to do.
Yes, she's certainly the most like a
Very
positive-minded
inspirational. Yeah.
person that we know, like very resilient and like
We're like,
Yeah,
how can
that-
you?
Hey, that-
smiles all the time.
Yeah,
through
that's
pain.
a spot on word there, Laura. Is the resilience is she goes out for a run literally most days. She still gets on with life. She gets up early for like work, make sure she's always on time. She's well dressed. Looks after the house as well. Like, she lives a normal life even though everything that she's going through. Like
And she's going through a lot, because if you follow, because we gave her a shout out last month's one, the Hormonal Diaries. You
It
will
is a
see
closed group.
it's a closed group, but you can follow.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much pain she can just endure and still be like putting
Yeah.
a smile to it and stuff. I
So
would be moaning so much.
Yeah, same. So if you could put a name or a title on the award, what would you say? Like most aspirational or most resilient girlfriend or
yeah, you've really put me on the spot there, I guess. But
I'm so sorry.
I'm joking.
You can be the most like best girlfriend or best like
No, I'm
warrior.
not that cringy. Sorry.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
The like badass bitch, or like the warrior, the most resilient. I don't know.
The most resilient, badass, bish,
There we go.
best. I'm not gonna say that word. Blah 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 blah. Award goes to Chantal. Yeah.
And so,
There you go.
how would that award look like? And like, you know, it needs to be big enough to put all that title there.
Yes.
So
Oh, it would have to be probably the biggest statue, like bigger than the Statue of Liberty, with a massive sign with no writing on it. And it's like the only time that you can actually see that is if you put like a UV light up to it, just so Chantal's head doesn't get big. And everyone, whenever they see it, they're like, okay, what the hell is that? Like,
Yeah.
and you can see it from space, obviously.
yeah, of course, yeah. So.
Which also contradicts about the big head syndrome. Would definitely be there if you would have such a big award
Yeah.
dedicated to you.
Correct.
So good luck with that.
Yeah, I think it would work really well, and everyone would be in favour of it.
That would be so
Yes.
lovely.
That's
No
really nice.
sarcasm intended.
Yeah, no.
No, but that's a very nice one, and you're right. She's a worthy
Well
risk.
deserving.
Absolutely. So
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's to you.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna regret this whenever I
No
listen to this
street
again,
cred.
and I'm like,
No.
why did I say that?
Any argument you ever have, just play this part.
Hey, it's funny because I was actually listening to Chantal's today, and I was like, oh, that's a really good thing I could play back on this podcast, because she gave me the award for the best boyfriend ever. So
There we go. See,
Clap
Yeah.
we
back. Yeah.
aim to please. You're
Yes.
welcome.
Right. So our mystery question.
Yeah.
Hold on to your seat. What musical instrument has the most annoying sound to you?
The drums.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
Drums.
because I like the
Interesting.
drums, but like it's so obnoxiously loud. Like you imagine, fair enough, I've never experienced this, and touch wood, I'd never have to. But imagine living next door or like in a flat to someone that has a drum set, and like I don't know if folk have watched the movie Step Brothers. Like,
Yeah.
Don't Touch My Drum Set. Like when he goes crazy on that, it's so loud. Like it's just so annoying. Like that, yeah.
Fair enough.
That in comparison to maybe a violin or
I was just about
the
to say.
bagpipes.
Yeah. Oh, but drums, no, that's absolutely fair. You know, it's very
Yeah.
logical.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
The other part of this is though, like, what musical instrument do you love, like the sound of, or like, yeah,
It's not as annoying.
or it's like really soothing to you, or you love.
I'd probably say like a guitar, so not an electric guitar, but like a regular
Acoustic.
guitar. Yeah, acoustic. So maybe like over in Spain or Mexico, like you're chilling out at a bar or something. Like you someone that's playing like a guitar, and it's just a really calming environment. So
Yes.
yeah, nothing too extravagant, just a pretty chilled kind of
Yeah.
Maracas.
maracas.
That veers over to the drums territory, so let's
Sorry,
let's
yeah,
be
percussion.
careful.
I mean, my music teacher, and I'm sure everyone hated us at school. The what was it? The keyboard, and it's the DJ. Definitely would be up there, but no, the guitar gets it.
I know what you know how we every episode we end, like Paul always puts a little stupid little sound bite. I know
Yeah.
that DJ will be on this one. I just know, I don't even like I know it will be.
Yeah.
But I think that's the end of our questions. And if you wanna maybe mention again,
Cowbell. What?
is that what you don't like?
It just popped into my head.
Okay, it's an open space, Ulla, but
Yeah.
Cowbell.
cowbell. There we go. But thank you so much for coming.
Very
If
welcome.
you
Thank you.
mention again the really awesome charity that you're kind of
Yeah, of course.
Rooting
So
for?
the charity is Humane Society International (HSI).
there we go.
You can find them just on more or less every social media platform, or just a simple Google search.
Yes.
We will put a link.
We will
into our
link them.
Yeah.
They will need all our
Show
help.
notes.
Yes. But thank you so much
No
for
problem.
taking time, sitting down with us. And actually, for the listener, this is the first guest that we have in the luxury of our state-of-the-art studio.
It is
State of the
very,
art.
very stated
State-
of the art.
Yes.
Yes, and thank you both very much for having me.
Not at all.
You are so welcome.
There's no camera to point towards.
Bye.
Bye, listeners only.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Hello. You have reached our voicemail. Please leave your positive message after the beep. Beep. Only kidding, I'm still here. Anyway, call us back. So this time, for my positive news, I actually didn't have anything until last night. And therefore I was like, oh no, what positive news can I talk about? And then I stumbled across this article about, which I kind of missed last year when it actually first came out or something. Basically, it's called the burnt toast theory, that a lot of our listeners probably already know because I get to news very late sometimes. But I can't fully confirm when did it start. Some people think that it started from TikTok, the TikTok trend. Some think it started like about a year ago in Instagram by at late night. I can't even say it. Late night epiphanies. But basically, whoever said it first, it's a theory that if you, for example, burn your toast in the morning, and it's like making you annoyed, and you have to do another toast, and then you have to spend time that's like longer time than you were going to, that may have saved you, for example, from a car accident. So it's kind of like a concept of everything happens for a reason, and it's making people look differently towards like seemingly negative events that could be a blessing in disguise. So I kind of looked into that a little bit. It was popularized in TikTok in January, but Wikipedia seems to think that the original, whoever posted it, was at Late Night Epiphany. So we'll go with that for today.
Must admit, I don't think I have come across it before.
Yeah, like I didn't either, but on TikTok apparently it's like #therapy TikTok. You can basically go and look at which I didn't know either. I have just my usual comedy videos coming up on TikTok because that's my algorithm. But anyway, so yeah, I looked at some people's videos about that on TikTok, and one person was quite a very like a clear way that worked for her was that she kind of apparently was driving, and then an older guy, I think it was an older guy, was walking over the road. Nothing wrong with that. Didn't look about himself to see like if any cars are coming though, and was walking very slowly.
Okay.
But not for any reason, just like quite slowly. And the girl was like, okay, that's weird. Then once the guy was over the road, started driving again, and then a car came out flying into the road in front of her. So if that guy wouldn't walk slow, and okay, it was a bit annoying, like, what's happening, right? But it was like as if the guy kind of like helped her not to be in that horrific car accident, because that car apparently flew past.
Oh my goodness.
Like opposite across the road. Also just realized, see in American movies, there's always like somebody going la 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 onto a road, and then a truck comes like pew.
Yeah.
Like what is up with those truck drivers? Come on, like.
Well, trucks are
speed
big
limits.
and they can't stop that
Yeah,
easily.
but speed limits. Anyway, just a thought. But then I was thinking about my own examples, because we've all had them. And actually, if you're listening to this and you really have a really cool one to share, please send us an email. All the details are at the end of this podcast. DM us on Insta, Facebook
or
Messenger.
say it to our face.
Yeah, or say it to our faces. But get in touch, because we would love to shout out about them on Instagram. We don't have to use your name, but these are quite interesting to see. So my one, for example, some things that have happened really often is weekend morning, wake up, super tired, all peopled out, don't want to do anything, but feel super guilty. We have a garden, but to take Dolce for a walk. Mm-hmm. And we'll do it later on, about 1ish, 2ish or something. And it's been cloudy and rainy at times. And then the 2:00 comes and we haven't even thought about it because we're inside, we don't care. And it's sunny and there was a reason why we didn't go before right now. Sometimes it just works out like that then by the time you go, the weather is nice. And sometimes I found it that, if I think it's to do with manifesting a little bit as well. Sometimes I'm by the time I get there, this torrential rainpour will have stopped, and it sometimes stops. But also, if you're longer in the traffic and it's raining, maybe it's because by the time you get to your destination, the rain would stop. I don't know. It's interesting. And then another one, that's a big one that we had happen to us last year, was that we really wanted to go to Eurovision, which is kind of topical because it's Eurovision month.
Yeah.
And really wanted to get tickets, really, really wanted to get tickets. We really tried, didn't we, with a Ticketmaster and everything, and it kind of didn't happen because of technical issues, and it was all sold out by the time. We were very frustrated, and then because of that, we started looking out for a camper van. So if we would have gone and we spent quite a lot of money on that, I don't think it would have been in a frame of our minds to even start looking for a camper van. And then stars aligned and we found one, and everything happened, and it just kind of worked out really well. And there's loads of examples like that. Do you have any, Ola, that you have had a burnt toast theory type of thing that you can remember?
Right now I'm not really good at thinking fast on the spot.
Or thinking.
I can't really come up with something.
No, that's totally fine. But I thought that's an interesting concept. That's it's not a new thing. It's just, a typical thing where call it something like burnt toast theory, and it's popularized, but it's also it's not too, because toxic positivity is a thing.
Oh, what?
So, yes, of course it is.
I've not heard of that
Have you not?
either. No.
It's actually so known that all these self-help, and how we like a good quote, but we do the stupid Sunday smugness, to be to poke fun at some of them.
Although the sayings do have
they have
truth in them, but some of them are quite like corny.
Yes,
so.
but the toxic positivity part of this one is like you do not have to think like, oh no, like let's say like, you know, my cat was hit by a car, but oh, I'm sure it's fine. I'll meet the love of my life, like because of that. It's like you don't have to constantly be like
looking on the bright side all the
yeah,
time?
because that's not possible. That's not realistic at all.
Okay.
It's just that sometimes these tiny annoyances, like burnt toast, that usually will set the whole mood for the whole day, is actually maybe just saving you from a car accident. You know, so it's just like not to be annoyed at small little things in life rather than constantly be like with a smile plastered on your face. It's not about that. So yeah, burnt toast theory.
Oh, that's a tongue twister.
Check it out. And if you have any of your own like really interesting like examples, please get in touch.
Thank you. That was interesting. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Books and music. Join us for it if you choose it. Books and music. One more time. Books and music. And yeah.
So we have naturally come to
the part of the show where we talk about books
and music.
Do you want to go first, Ulla?
I can, yes.
Please do.
All right, so this time around, I want to talk about the book you gifted me in a little care package when I was not feeling too well.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So kind of you.
No.
It is The Best of Miranda, favorite episodes plus added treats by Miranda Hart. So yeah, in this book, Miranda Hart has gathered 6 of her most favorite scripts of the 3 seasons of the, I think, award-winning TV show, Miranda. There's like some notes that she's made about some of the script, and yeah, there's some bits and bobs. So there's pictures as well. It just brings back the really funny dynamic they had there, and like just all these phrases like "such fun" or "what have you done today"
to make a real proud.
Spectaculosa or something, like one of the characters just made up words all the time. So yeah, it's been fun to read it.
So
Thanks
some
again.
light-hearted entertainment. I might borrow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Laura?
Well, my one actually is a book that I've talked about beforehand, which is Your Manifesting Year by Joey Hewlin. And I first talked about it when I was on like first month in or something. And now I've done all 12 months of it because it is a month-by-month guide to manifesting for anyone who wants to transform their life and bring their dreams into reality. So I enjoyed this book. It was interesting. I took some things and I left some others. Like I didn't follow it exactly to the T. Some of the so-called like spells or something. It's not like witchcraft. It's just not spells, but like kind of like, well, it is called like, for example, like a spell for love and stuff like that, or a spell for friendship. But I'm just leafing it through right now. And for example, the different months are set by different kind of areas of your life. So some months were more relevant, some were like that's already quite good. They give me tons of different like things and practices to do, like even like I think, well, the 369 manifesting might have been from here. No, that was already after that. But yeah, it starts with January's luck, then it's like love, purpose, community, joy, material desires, success, abundance, and harmonious relationships, self-acceptance, intuition, and a better world. And I just kind of like recommend this if you want to have like something kind of like for manifesting, but like not like something that you quickly like read and then put aside, but it's kind of for a whole year. And it gives you like kind of some, I say kind of a lot. It gives you like writing prompts as well. Okay. For example, if the theme, like the most recent one goes, I started it in a weird time of the year. I didn't start it from January. You don't have to start it in January. Just start from whatever month and then make a little note. And, you know, then a year later you're there. And it was like for example, this month was about friendship, so it's like, or community, and it's like, what kind of community do you look up to, and it kind of makes you think and write it down as well.
Yeah, okay.
So I think it's a very good book to have, and I'll borrow it to you now next if you want.
Lend it. Okay.
Lend it. Oh, English is so hard.
So you finished it now, right?
Yeah, I've finished it. So you can take
Cool.
it. And now for the music then. What music thing do you have?
Yeah. Please don't, send me hate mail or anything. It's a song that a lot of people know. I just recently found it again. It was released back in 2012.
Oh,
End
yeah.
of 2012. It's maybe a bit corny, but it is Tom Odell's "Another Love." I've been listening to it recently, so it's just, I love the powerful piano tune there, and it's just very heartfelt, and it grows in power as the song goes on, and
Okay.
it's very catchy as well.
Right.
So that's my song for the month. Laura, what would you like to introduce?
Well, I'm going again back a little bit because I think I've definitely mentioned them before. So it's the band called The Warning.
Oh, yes.
And the reason I'm mentioning them is because me and Paul went to their gig in Glasgow this week, and they were really good live. They are talented sisters, 3 of them.
Oh, they're sisters. Okay.
Yes, from Mexico.
Oh.
And they are not like, oh, we're girls and we're in a rock band, so we're just doing it to kind of appear cool. No, they literally have talent in their instruments, and just check them out. There's like a few albums out now that they have. For example, the album Error, it's still my favorite one. All of the songs are good. I think picked Martirio as the song of the month, one of the months, but there are so many other ones. Hell You Call a Dream, it's like a new single. Automatic Sun is a new single, and yeah, really, really good.
Sing in English or
Most of the songs are in English, but some are in
Spanish?
yeah. And then their new album Keep Me Fed is out in June, which Paul literally WhatsApped me right now from the other side of the door because he had to go away to feed Dolce and we don't let him into the studio. That's so funny. And their warm-up band was also good, Conquer Divide, and they're like a 5-piece, also all female rock band. They had a screamo parts in their one, so there is a bit more heavier. Okay. If you're into that, then go and give them a follow or give them a listen. So The Warning is the one that was the main act, and Conquer Divide. And also just on the topic, go to gigs more.
Yeah.
This one was also honestly like £15, so it wasn't expensive. I think they would be very big though. The Warning, they're on their way up for sure. It was sold out tour in Europe,
wow.
So yeah, so worth it. It's just like we haven't gone to gigs as much anymore.
No, yeah,
because we're old now, old and sad and
no, we're not.
tired and haggard. But anyway, gigs are fun. So and
yes,
yeah.
Ula's fun facts about animals. So, Dolce, I had the pleasure to dog sit this little lady the other day.
You sure did.
Best time ever. She was a bit poorly overnight, but she was so sweet. And so, yeah, what else has she been up to? Or do you have anything to pass on about her?
Well, the most annoying thing at the moment is that she's shedding. So a lot of hair is coming off her, which is all over our furniture and ourselves.
Are you saying that I can make my own Dolce?
You can make a small Dolce from the hair that's coming off her, which is so horrible. And I hope it doesn't last like weeks this time. But what we were thinking the other day with Paul was when we were walking Dolce. She's a female dog, obviously. So when she pees and when she poos are very similar stances or poses. And me, as an overthinker, I'm like, I hope nobody thinks that when she's peeing it's poo and I'm not picking it up. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I do I demonstratively like just go and be like, nothing is there, okay. But then straight away also we were like laughing because I asked Paul, and basically he's like, I already have an answer to whoever is coming to sass me if they think that Dolce is pooing, but she's peeing like straight back pee, curved back poo. And that's what it is. When you see a girl, a dog twerking, kind of like a twerky stance, that's a pee. And when they're curled like a little comma, that's a poo, okay? But it doesn't stop us overthinking about things.
That's a very useful fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're
nice
welcome.
one. Thank you.
Thank
Shall
you for
I
listening.
Bye. No, I think I have another fact.
Okay.
You know, well, it's not much of a fact. It's a little bit of a phenomenon. Phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
In today's episode, I'd like to introduce a clever invention and sort of an online game or such, involving a doorbell and fish.
Huh?
I have stumbled on a couple of stories recently mentioning this, so I thought I would also mention it here,
Mention away.
Pass it on. It's a fish doorbell in Utrecht. I hope I pronounce it correctly.
I'm sure you didn't.
Utrecht.
Utrecht.
It's a fourth largest city in Netherlands with a ton of locks and canals.
Are they locks?
Lock.
Or the lakes?
It's a lock. L-O.
Oh, C-K.
C-K, yeah.
Locks, okay.
So in Utrecht, an underwater webcam and interactive fish doorbell were created in order to help fish migrate through the various dams and locks in the city's canals and rivers, with the public's help. So how does it work?
Do tell.
So, at first, every spring, fish travel from the Vecht, a branch of the Rhine River southeast of Amsterdam, to the Kromme River, which extends from Utrecht to the southeast.
Okay.
So man-made structures such as like dams and locks frequently disrupt their migration or their migratory patterns. So a clever man, ecologist Mark van Heukelum, came up with an idea to install an underwater webcam near one of the main obstacles, which is the Weird Lock, and that happened in 2021. So it got a dedicated website on which people checking the webcam can noticing like the fish from the webcam, they can ring a virtual doorbell, and then the staff near that lock can go and open the lock if there's enough like sightings, or like they don't go and open it for like every single fish. I don't imagine. But yeah, it helps because otherwise, if there's a lot of fish like just stranded in front of the lock, like there's like predators, like birds and stuff. So yeah, they get helped through these kind of bits. So yeah,
that's adorable.
Bish bash bosh, and that also kind
Splish splash blush, more like.
Yeah, it gets quite addictive. Some people are like constantly there.
Did they get obsessed?
I think so.
Yeah.
And there's like daily or weekly updates as well. Like there's a person who kind of collates these videos together and shows like an update for every week, like which fish have gone past the doorbell.
But the fish have a whale of
a
time.
Like
whale of a time.
Yeah, so there's like next to the webcam, like the picture, like video live stream. I popped onto that website and last night, but obviously it was dark already in Netherlands, even more so because I think they're 2 hours ahead or something. So no fish. I could not see any.
Anyone just staring like really close up.
Intently.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, you can just Google fish doorbell and it will come up.
Love
or
it.
Fish doorbell in Utrecht or something.
Utrecht.
And go to that website.
Very cool, actually.
All right.
Well done. Very good fact. I love it.
You've been listening to Glass Half Full. Hope it added something positive to your day.
Please follow us on Instagram at classhalf.full or email us at classhalf.full@gmail.com.
We're now also on Facebook.
We've been the Klaas twins, and we will be back again next month with more positive vibes.
Namaste.
No, namaste in bed.
Oh. Oh well.
DJ.
Cowbell.